To you every Saturday from 8 to 10 hours, reviewing stories and happenings of the week from Sunday to Friday. Join our presenters as they discuss and shed light on some of the highlights of the week's interesting stories, bringing you up to speed with latest happenings. If you are a lover of news, you will definitely love this package. The Week in Focus. Good morning. It's a pleasant morning right here on This Week in Focus. And of course, today I am your presenter. My name's Yesani Jose. You could be home having a relaxation time. Just want to invite you to this particular edition where we do get focusing our cameras and our lenses and our ears, our thoughts and our ideas on some of the stories that have made it through the week. You could be a fan of some social happenings, eventualities, or international news. I don't know about you, but a weekend like this one calls for a recall of what made it in this particular week. Let's have a look at some of the stories that have made it this particular week. Headlines for today. HH appoints new health SME ministers. Firefighter superhero emerges. Chinese national nabbed for 2000 Queen Ant smuggle attempt. Those are some of the stories that have made it on our package this particular morning. We'll be going straight into the details, but for now, let's pay some bills. We'll be back on the other side. The Week in Focus comes to you every Saturday from 8 to 10 hours, reviewing stories and happenings of the week from Sunday to Friday. Join our presenters as they discuss and shed light on some of the highlights of the week's interesting stories, bringing you up to speed with latest happenings. If you are a lover of news, you will definitely love this package. The Week in Focus. There's so much that is talked about Friday the 13th, and of course, yesterday was just that particular day. So many myths that surround this particular day, and I know that a lot of people, some are people that would spend a whole day indoor and not want to walk out. They're skeptic about that particular day. But hey, we have to know that we have a higher power, that the Lord our God is there for us each and every day to protect us and to heal us and to guide us in everything that we do. Welcome to This Week in Focus. The first story that we look at is one from the Copper Belt, where 2 kwacha per 10 minutes Kopala business-minded cowboys are cashing in on a bench they have placed at Oxford bus station in Kitwe, where they target passengers visiting for the first time and do not want to appear stranded while waiting to reunite with their loved ones. Apparently, what is happening is that when you reach that particular location, they will charge you 2 kwacha to sit. Right? So they are charging 2 kwacha per 10 minutes for sitting. Let's have a clip. See what's happening on the other side. It has been a busy month. Talking about the month of March, we did have the International Children's Day of Broadcasting. We also did have Youth Day and Women's Day. The highlight of the week is the Youth Day, because the Youth Day was the talk of the town as the Lusaka Securities Exchange LUSE proudly signed a memorandum of understanding with the University of Zambia Business and Economics Association at the Confucius Institute at the University of Zambia. And the timing could not be more intentional. This partnership formalizes the commitment to bringing the capital markets closer to the next generation of Zambia's economic leaders. The aim is to build bridges between the lecture halls and the trading floor before the students of UNZA. And of course, entrepreneurs, investors, and the market leaders of tomorrow. The MOU is a step towards Zambia, where young people see investments not as something distant or complicated, but as a tool they can use to build their own wealth and contribute to national prosperity. What a way to go. Making sure that the next generation does have a formidable and a fluid way of achieving tasks, coming together, reuniting, changing the direction, and of course, seeing that the better future is laid out. We do have so many stories of missing individuals, and this has, been a concern for the newsroom because, having a loved one that hasn't reported at a certain period of time or after a number of days is something that is worrying. And shockingly, almost all the cases end up in that particular person losing their life. Now, one of the stories that has been a highlight this particular week is of a 24-year-old Mitch Mulenga who disappeared on the 27th of January 2026 and was discovered just yesterday in an unfinished building near Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Ndola. According to Copperbelt Province Police Commanding Officer Mwale Yui, Officer Yui said the body was found laying on its back with the head turned to the left and had already decomposed to skeleton state. A rope believed to have been used in the incident was found tied to the building's roof. Police also recovered a black bag containing Mulenga's national registration card, a phone, and school documents near the scene. A post-mortem examination was conducted after authorities collected the body, and the investigation is ongoing. Sad state of affairs for the young man out there. I would echo to families out there to have a system where you know that each particular individual, when they go out, they can come back at a certain particular time. So that in an event that someone goes missing, you can, promptly just start making the call for, the location of where that individual is, or probably asking friends, and etc., etc. Now, President Hakainde Hichilema has appointed Solwezi East Member of Parliament, Alex Katakwe, as the new Minister of Health, while Mfue MP Mufunelo Malama has been named Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise Development. The appointments were announced in a statement by State House Chief Communications Specialist Clayson Hamasaka, made pursuant to Article 92 and 116 of the Constitution of Zambia. The two ministers were sworn in at the State House by President Hichilema. Meanwhile, the president has relieved Muchinga Province Permanent Secretary, Reverend Matthews Chilekwa, of his duties with immediate effect under Article 270 of the Constitution. Dr. Tuesday Walia has been appointed Permanent Secretary of Muchinga Province under Article 184(1). In the same development, Northern Province Permanent Secretary Bernard Mpundu has been reassigned to Cabinet Office under Article 92(1). Speaking during the swearing-in ceremony, President Hakainde emphasized the importance of loyalty, unity, and teamwork, urging the newly appointed officials to work together in the interest of people and the country.
So let me start by congratulating you, Minister for Small and Medium Enterprises, Minister Mfunero Malama. Congratulations. I also want to congratulate Dr. Alex Katakwe, Minister of Health. Congratulations. Let me congratulate Dr. Tuesday Warrior, Permanent Secretary for Muchinga Province. I'm sure you see I'm smiling. One of the comments was saying, was he born on Tuesday? Why is he Tuesday Warrior? So that's a reflection of public office. People say all sorts of things about you, about us and the country. I think your duty is to serve the nation. Focus on the job at hand. Serve the people to the best of your abilities, at all times. Not sometimes, at all times. Remember, 20 million people, 21 million people, and you're the Minister, SME. You're the Minister, Health. You are the PS Muchinga. 21 million people. Privileged out of the many. And the best way to acknowledge that privilege is to return the favor by serving the people of Zambia. Serve the Republic with discipline, dedication, and humility at all times. Displace the interest of the people of Zambia as superior to our own personal interest at all times.
Two things come to my mind when I look at the story that we're about to take on. One, the time where sachets of alcohol known as Tujili took swing and everyone was just going dizzy in the towns, in the buses, in the markets. And two, the theme for youth this particular year, which is Arise and Soar. This combined together call that the youth act positively and responsibly for them to arise and soar, for them to become leaders for the next generation. But well, this is contrary to what is happening on the ground, as the Zambia police has raised a concern. So the Zambia police has raised a concern over the illegal sale of alcohol and drugs near the National Institute of Public Administration, NIPA, and Evelyn Horn College. Police spokesperson Godfrey Chilabi says the law enforcement agency is aware of the illicit alcohol, commonly known as GCAP. Now, this is something that probably a lot of you people don't know. There is a concoction of alcohol mixed with probably drink and ice and lemon and what. So this concoction of alcohol that will probably taste a little bit sweet, but well, is still an alcoholic beverage, is referred to as GCAP. So this has been sold around the areas where you have NIPA and Evelyn Horn. So Mr. Chilabi warns that the police will soon take action against the named individuals involved in the illegal sale of illegal beer and drugs. Let's have a look at that.
This is around NIPA and Evelyn Horn College, that space. A number of illicit activities taking place, drug abuse, selling of drugs, as well as, illicit activities such as, alcohol and other, activities. So very soon we'll have an operation. Yes, we have an operation at Zambia Police Service to ensure that we sweep that area so that, sanity remains, that the way it's supposed to be.
During the productions of Youth Day, we were asking people, who is your hero? Others said, Jesus is my hero. And others said, well, the president is my hero. So many people had different heroes. So the biggest question is, who is your hero this time around? Well, a brave Felicius Banda and her firefighters have been named heroes this particular time as the crew saves a newborn baby from a pit latrine. Now, a newborn baby has been rescued alive from a pit latrine in Shanghai Township in Mpika District after being abandoned, authorities have said. According to Mpika Town Council, the fire brigade responded to a distress call from community members around 10:16 hours, reporting that a baby had been dumped in the latrine. A rescue team led by Sub Officer Nebat Musonda was dispatched to the scene where female firefighter Felicitas Banda entered the pit latrine and successfully retrieved the baby. The infant was immediately rushed to Tazara Clinic for urgent medical attention. He is reportedly doing well. So that is good news. So the baby that was rescued, the baby that was left to die in the pit latrine is alive and is doing well. Mpika Town Council Division Fire Officer Ruben Mukonde commended the rescue team for their swift response and bravery, which helped save the child's life. Authorities have since launched investigations to establish circumstances surrounding the incidents and identify the person who is responsible. The Mpika Town Council has shone the spotlight on female firefighter Felicius Banda after her bravery after entering a pit latrine and successfully rescuing a newborn baby boy. So she is the talk of the town right there in Mpika. And this is an amazing thing. I mean, being a Youth Week, International Youth Week, I will definitely applaud Felicitas Banda for her, her untiring efforts to save lives. Now, as the crew, Light TV, saw this story being an inspirational story, a story that will definitely transform the way people think and perceive about life, we did have a one-to-one with her, and we packaged something out there for you and the team, the firefighters right there in Mpika. And this is what we have for you right here on This Week in Focus.
My name is Ruben Mukonde, Division of Fire Officer, Mpika Town Council Fire Brigade. I would like to state that the rescue of the baby by our firefighter Felicitas Banda is a moment of great pride for our brigade and the community we save. Firefighter Banda demonstrated exceptional courage, calmness, and professionalism in responding to a very delicate and life-threatening situation. When the alert was received, our officers responded promptly in accordance with the emergency response procedures. Upon arrival at the scene, Firefighter Banda and the responding team assessed the situation quickly and acted decisively to save the life of the baby. Such actions require not only bravery, but also the discipline and technical skills that come from continuous training and commitment to duty. The act reflects the values of the fire service, that is protecting life, property, and the environment. Firefighter Banda's action are a true reflection of the dedication and professionalism that officers demonstrate every day, often in very dangerous circumstances. Her achievement also sends a powerful message that women continue to play an important and impactful role in the emergency services. Courage, dedication, and service to humanity know no gender. As her supervisor, I'm extremely proud of her and the entire team that responded to the incident. The commitment reminds us why the fire service remains one of the most trusted emergency responders in the communities. Finally, I encourage members of the public to continue working closely with the emergency services by reporting incidents promptly and supporting safety initiatives in the communities.
A firefighter at Mpika Town Council Fire Brigade, Mchinga Province. I was born in Osaka in 1992, 24th October, at UTH Hospital. I'm a last born in the family of 8. 6 ladies and 2 men. I started my primary level at Chame Basic School and completed my secondary level at Chonge Secondary School in 2014. I joined the fire service in 2021 and did my training at National Fire Service Training School under ZNS. I was among the first intake which was trained by ZNS in Kawi. What inspired me to become a firefighter is when I was in 7, we were coming back from school with my colleagues, with my friends, and witnessed a scene where firefighters swiftly saved the baby from the well. I was amazed, I was touched, I was encouraged and gained the passion to become a firefighter, to become a lifesaver too. Because what they did that day, I still remember. It started just as a normal day as usual. I woke up in the morning, gave thanks to God for the precious gift of life, reported for work around 7:30. We are doing our daily routine. We are having lectures. An emergency call was received by a washroom attendant who alerted us, and within a minute we were dispatched to the scene. What was going through my mind was to save the baby. That is all. It is one of our core values, to save lives. So what was in my mind at that particular moment was to save the baby, because it's my job. I was trained to do that. At that particular moment, the life of the baby was at risk. And so, as a safety officer, safety is within me. I wanted to save the baby, and I know what I was doing. I know that my life was safe too. Now that people are calling me a hero, it motivates me. It's motivating me to do even more than that. Actually, I will even pursue my studies further. And it has motivated me to work extra hard, to put more effort. Who motivates me is our Division Fire Officer, Ruben Mukonde. He's been working tirelessly to make us firefighters to be better firefighters. Our division of fire officer, his leadership style is one that uplifts women in the service without ever diminishing their value or capability. He helps us believe in ourselves. He helps us to love our job. And also he's been emphasizing to focus on our job and to continue to further our studies. My last words, I just want to encourage the youths out there who would love to come and join us. And my fellow fire officers out there, I'm just urging you, my fellow ladies, to focus on our job, to focus on what we do, to have the desire, the courage, the determination to do our work. We can do it. What a man can do, a woman can do better. As you can see, it's not just being written on the book, it's not just being spoken, it's being proven today that what a man, a woman can do it too. Thank you. In fire service, there's no a woman. We are all called firefighters. We are firemen. In fire service also, teamwork is very important. Determination, courage, and self-confidence. Without teamwork, our job can be hard. With teamwork, it makes our work easier. Just like they said, the incident we had, the operation was successful because of teamwork. The courage, the encouragement I was given. Let's embrace each other, support each other, and encourage each other.
Not only saved that baby on Tuesday, but she has been doing a lot of wonders in Mumpika. She's there. And she's always going down there making sure that a life is saved. Those are the kind of youth that we need in our society, that are courageous, that are fearless, who are able to withstand pressure, critics, challenges in life. A big hand for our sister, Patience, all the way from Mpika. Felicitas Banda from Mpika Town Council Fire Brigade. Natumupela kofia maboko, we encourage you, Sarah. On a day like this one, youth day, Omusepela with power. These are the youths. Not if you are a slave, we know one salad. Yeah, Omusepela. Guest of honor, sir. This is our heroine who rescued a baby who was dumped in a pitch latrine. So she has done a lot so far in Mpika. Don't look at her. I quote from one young courageous young lady who said that bigger things comes in small things. I mean. So look at her, she's carrying a lot with her. Very courageous, very fearless woman. Pick up Papene Town Council Fire Brigade, that's where she's working from. Please, whenever ngatwasanga mumafya ya msango wega mulilo muntu napolera muchilinji wangu manamboko yaba ayaba Mpika Town Council Fire Brigade. You save a life, you save your community. Twatotela ba sister besu ba Felicitas, continue working extra hard. I believe the guest of honor is taking note and the other politicians are taking note of what you are doing in Mpika. Thank you. Motivation
There you go. Teamwork, hard work, and of course, embracing each other is what Felicitas Banda echoed. And well, a heroine indeed. That is what we need in society. Moving on to our next story, the Zambia Research and Development Center has paid tribute to the Center for Environment Justice for its relentless advocacy in the environmental protection and social justice. Speaking during the signing of the partnership agreement in Lusaka, ZRDC Director of Research, Dr. Chisala Walia, said the collaboration marks a turning point in strengthening research, innovation and community development. Dr. Walia noted that the partnership will support joint studies, promote climate justice, and amplify the voices of vulnerable communities, particularly rural women affected by climate change. Meanwhile, CEJ Head of Research Christopher Mubanga welcomed the partnership, saying it will combine expertise in governance, human rights, and water security to achieve greater research excellence. Now, bitter times for cocoa farmers as chocolate market slumps. The price of chocolate bars has shot up across the world over the past year, meaning they can feel like a luxury. Yet, West Africa's cocoa farmers have not been reaping their benefits, following a surge in the cost of cocoa, the main ingredients of chocolate in 2024. Prices have since crashed. Much of the world's cocoa is being produced in Ghana and Ivory Coast, where state regulators set the price a year in advance. The recent collapse in prices has made their beans around 40% more expensive than international traders are willing to pay. Prices have fallen from a variety of reasons, particularly because of good harvest around the world, came at a time of lower demand. Because of the previous high prices, chocolate bars have become smaller and chocolate makers have been using less cocoa. I think I have noticed. Have you noticed that chocolate bars around town are just these small bars? Way back you would have big chocolate bars at an affordable price. But nowadays, having chocolate is a luxury, yeah? It has become a luxury. Unless those two red ones, yeah, I won't say the name because it's going to be a marketing. There are those two red ones we should kill in our communities. Those ones at least are affordable. So I don't know if it's the original cocoa which is being used there, or maybe, I don't know. So the knock on efforts should mean that chocolate bars will eventually be less expensive, but it has left the cocoa industry in Ghana and Ivory Coast in a mess. So I know that there are a lot of people that have a sweet tooth. I have a sweet tooth. There are people that love salty things, you know, like in the mornings. I know people that can just not do with a kanshima. It has to be a kanshima with tuma leftovers. You find that leave a piece of chicken for me, even tuma soup. I don't mind with tuma karembula, you know. But some of us have got sweet tooth, you know. When we are eating a meal, we want a sweet something, a sweet drink, or probably just after a meal, have some chocolate to, you know, just help digest, you know, that heavy meal that you've had. Going into another story, in India, we have a story that is really going to just, you know, tweak your attention. So this one goes a little bit like this. So no one will hire women in India's top court as it rejects the menstrual leave petition. India's top court has rejected a petition seeking menstrual leave for working women and female students, while the judge are saying they were to make such a law. No one will hire women. So what is happening in India is that there is, you know, a petition that there should be a leave when women are going through their menstrual system. And well, what people are saying in India is that we just basically just not employ the woman because it's creating confusion in the working in what. So, I mean, that's what's happening there. The two-judge bench headed by Chief Justice Suya Kant said mandatory leave would make young women think they are not a par with their male colleagues and would be harmful for their growth. The subject of menstrual leave has been petitioned and polarized in Indian society. While many agree with the justice's view, others argue that a day or two off can help women deal with the painful periods. Some states and a number of large private companies have introduced menstrual leave for employees over the years. So this is something that needs to be considered because, you know, you want to have people that are in a work environment that are also effective and not just present. And so if people at that particular time are not capable of delivering, you know, to full capacity, I mean, this should be considered. But I mean, that is for another day for discussion. And the judges there would have to sit down and just have to table out, you know, the pros and cons and see how they can come up with an in-between and move forward. Another story in our news that has made it this week, DSHS trains snake handling instructors to boost safety. Two instructors from the Defense School of Health Science, DSHS, have completed a specialized snake handling and awareness training program as a trainer of trainers. The course, conducted by Snake Alive Zambia International, SAZI, equipped them with skills to identify, avoid, and manage snake encounters in development zones and training areas. The training covered snake species identification, habitats, behaviors, and emergency first aid for snake bites. The Defense School of Health Science aims to provide comprehensive training addressing all potential threats, ensuring personnel are prepared and resilient. The snake handling program is now a new course introduced at the Defense School for Military Medical Assistance, adding to the robust training regiment for service members. So let's go for a clip on that particular one. Another story that has made it in our news, and it has really, you know, confused everyone, because the things that were being smuggled are little ants. I mean, people have smuggled a lot of things, you know, drugs, they have smuggled food items, but in this particular story, ants were the ones that were being smuggled. Now, the Chinese national arrested over the attempt to smuggle 2,000 queen ants from Kenya. A Chinese national has been arrested in Kenya's main airport, accused of attempting to smuggle more than 2,000, not 100, but 2,000 ants, garden ants out of the country of Kenya, intercepted during the security search at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, KIA, in the capital of Nairobi, after authorities discovered a large consignment of live ants in his luggage bound for China. He has yet to respond to the accusations, but investigations said in a court that he was linked to the ant trafficking network that has broken up in Kenya since last year. The ants are protected by the international biodiversity treaties, and their trade is highly regulated. Let's have a look at that.
Kenyan authorities arrested and charged a Chinese national with attempting to smuggle 2,200 live ants in his luggage. Court filings seen by Reuters say 27-year-old Zhang Kekun was arrested at Nairobi's main airport on Tuesday while he was trying to leave the country. Ant aficionados pay large sums to maintain colonies. The arrest comes amid a rise in cases of smuggling the insects. Last year, prosecutors accused suspects of being part of an ant gang who tried to move the live insects inside plastic syringes packed with cotton balls. 4 men were charged $7,700 each for trying to traffic thousands of ants. Experts said the case signaled a shift in biopiracy from trophies, like elephant ivory, to lesser-known species. Investigators said a search of Zhang's luggage recovered 2,238 ants, including 1,948 packed in test tubes and the rest in 3 rolls of soft tissue papers. Kenya's Wildlife Service said a similar consignment of ants had been seized in Bangkok on Tuesday that originated from Kenya, indicating the existence of a widespread and organized ant smuggling network.
Last but not the least, in international news, bodies of 84 Iranian sailors have been killed in the U.S. strike, and the bodies of the 84 Iranian sailors were killed at the attack by the U.S. submarine last week in the Indian Ocean are due to be flown home on Friday. Sri Lanka Defense Minister has said the seamen were amongst 130 thought to be aboard the Iranian warship, the Iris Dana, when it was sunk on the 4th of March, about 40 kilometers, 250 miles from Sri Lanka southern coastland. A police escort transferred bodies to Mata International Airport on Friday morning for the repatriation to Iran, after they were stored in 2 freezers at Gala International Hospital. That is the last story on This Week in Focus. But before we conclude the package, let's have a recap on the top stories that have made it this particular week. Now, H appoints new health SME ministers. A firefighter superhero emerges. And Chinese national nabbed for 2,000 Queen Ants smuggle attempt. Remember to make a date every Saturday in the mornings from around 8 up to about 9 and sometimes up to about 10, as we do get just echoing on some of the stories that have made it this particular week. It could be this week or that other week, but this week, what you saw today was what made it. I have been your caster for this particular one. My name's Yesani Jose. Until another day where we do get sharing the desk right here on Light TV channel 121, it's pleasant watching. The Week in Focus comes to you every Saturday from 8 to 10 hours, reviewing stories and happenings of the week from Sunday to Friday. Join our presenters as they discuss and shed light on some of the highlights of the week's interesting stories, bringing you up to speed with latest happenings. If you are a lover of news, you will definitely love this package. The Week in Focus. Are you looking for